All right, looks like we are live. Hey Jake, how's it going? Glad you could make it to the live stream. All right. So it looks like our stream is going now. I apologize for any technical difficulties that may arise. I am using a new computer to do this. That is not my school issued MacBook Air that I've been using for all of my streams before this. So when is the next meetup? I have no idea. I am a very busy man with a somewhat strict family, so hard saying. Hello, Hen Basket Fire Alarms. Glad you be here tonight. How's it going? Good to hear. Good to hear. Bought a very rare Gamewell pull station. Nice. What's the model of it? I'm gonna try to get some alarms next Thursday when I go into the shop. Nice. Um, good luck with that. Hopefully you find something, cool. It's the non-coated variant of Gamewell's non-Vitagard coated pulls. I have to look that up later because I don't think I've ever actually heard of that. I've been a collector for like 6 years, and I can't say I know what a Vitagard is. I'll just make a community see it. I'll make sure to look at it here. Isn't there a known enthusiast that lives in the KC area? So the ones that come to the top of my head, I'd say the two most known ones in terms of like the general fire alarm community are me and Kansas Fire Alarms, who's in this stream. Joel Speck actually lived in my town for quite a while, and I'm actually going to school with someone at the moment who is a kind of enthusiast. As it turns out, he actually knew of my channel before he met me at school, and he's like, "Wait, you're the guy with the 4008 home system, aren't you?" Kind of a funny story. Kansas Fire Alarms, you'll have to tell me who Alex P is. If it's that fellow who likes to comment on all the videos about not pulling fire alarms or whatever. I sure hope he doesn't live in this area. I'd really rather not have to deal with him in person. Yeah, it's kind of weird. There's quite a few fire alarm enthusiasts in the Kansas City area. There's definitely a lot more than there usually would be in terms of a general population area. I know I know Fire Alarm Guy 13 actually lives pretty close to Fahrenheit 4051, like literally like 2 blocks probably, which is pretty interesting as well. Jake, you'll have to remind me who the guy from Leavenworth was who was also evidently interested in fire alarms. Oh, wait, I know who you're talking about now. Now I think of it. Couldn't think of the name for a second. Yeah. School Fire Alarm Day video. That's the one I was thinking of. I do remember that now. The name wasn't ringing a bell for a second, so I had to kind of think about, but I know who you're talking about now. The closest collector I know of was an old guy that lived in Cape Cod. Interesting. That's still pretty cool. The thing that I found is that like there's a bunch of fire alarm enthusiasts kind of scattered throughout the Midwest, and then there's like a pretty big concentration of them in the northeastern U.S. But it's pretty much a desert everywhere else in terms of fire alarm enthusiasts. Yes, I have done quite a few meetups with Kansas fire alarms at this point. The most recent one was this summer where I actually let him into my house and we did the test together with my board. And then after that, I drove up to his house and we went and checked out some fire alarm systems where he lives, which is pretty cool. I thought we were just going to hang out at the park, not go to the infamous house, and then up to Fort Leavenworth. I mean, to be fair, I didn't either. It was more of a impromptu kind of thing that just was able to happen, but it was still really cool. I know it was funny. Kansas Fire Alarms told me um, we briefly tested the house system because my parents were both out of the house, and he got to experience firsthand why I always say true alerts will wake the dead. Don't go to college too far away from here. We should do meetups once we can do more. Actually, you do you, but um, I think I have my plan for college kind of figured out. There's still some details to be worked out. I don't know how much of that I'm going to share with the World Wide Web, though. Also, I have not made a post about this, but I have good news and bad news about True Alert horn strobes. Um, well, I guess if you want to tell the chat, you can, but if not, you can make your post however you see necessary. It's up to you. Kansas fire alarms. Text me after this. Will do. Good news, I found out why the one horn failed. That's good. I'm guessing the bad news is that you probably can't really fix it. Perhaps. We'll see what comes up. Because now I'm curious to the plan. I mean, Jake, I've kind of already went over my post high school plans with you, but I'll tell you again after I'm done with the stream. Capacitor fell out while I was trying to find out what I needed to, and I broke off the other one. Broke it off the other one. If you're decent with soldering, you could probably just solder it back on, or you could, since I imagine the capacitor is probably a standard value, you could always order a replacement and do the same if the leads aren't long enough or whatever. I imagine you could find a replacement online. You just gotta make sure you get the right voltage and capacity, and all should be good. I can't solder it because the leads came out of the capacitor. Kansas fire alarms. It's about to get cooler again. Well, better not before tomorrow, because I got stuff I gotta do tomorrow, and I'm gonna be outside all day. It's gonna be 83 here tomorrow. Dang, that's actually pretty hot for October. But that's Kansas. The weather changes on the drop of a hat, and it does so throughout the year. I made the community post about that Gamewell poll. Well, I'll go check it out when I'm done with the live stream here. $61 on Monday. Severe weather possible Sunday into Monday. Well, I mean, I guess it's about due to get one of our semi-annual floods. We haven't had one in a few months. So it's getting to be about that time again. We're going to have one now in October. The next one's probably going to be in December, and it's going to be a blizzard. Make that January/February. Man, I hope this year we get as many snow days as we did last year. Like, we had a lot of days where it just randomly dropped like a foot of snow, and then we'd get off of school for the day. It was really great. Looking like we're going to be in a pattern that'll get pretty decent storms later on into the season with big time snow. So we'll see. Last few years in Kansas, it's been fairly snowy. Like, it doesn't snow much, but when it does, it snows. Oh yeah, and it's weird because it's not supposed to be. It's been La Nina for the last, which typically allows for less snow, but that's been the last 2 winters. Hmm. I keep forgetting that I'm one of the older enthusiasts now. Feels like just yesterday I was waiting for Andrew to post System Test 30 with the i8005. Dang, that was like 10 years ago. Now I think about that. 2012, like November 2012, I believe. So that was like 10 years ago. Can't believe that because I would have been like second grade at the time. Yeah, second grade. So at that point, I wasn't watching fire alarm videos anymore at that time. But, that's still kind of crazy to think about because, you know, new age server alarm is new age server alarm. It's kind of crazy to think about. I hope new age server alarm is doing well. 10 years ago will be 2013 here in 3 months. Okay, you can stop right there. Can't believe how much my channel's blown up in the last few months. Yeah, my channel's been shrinking a little bit these last few months. Probably because I don't really, have interesting content to upload anymore. That's okay. It happens. Maybe I'll have a. Usually, will probably end up happening is I'll eventually post something that just randomly gets a lot of views, and then I'll start going up again. Also, Jake, yes, fire alarm inspections will generate a lot of clicks for a fire alarm video. Um, anyone can make a system test to some extent, but there's always something a little bit more interesting about seeing real systems out in the field, more so than having your demo board with 2 orange strobes and 2 pull stations on it. So I think that's why. I'm scared for after all my inspection videos are up. Well, for you, it sounds like you're going back to work in the inspection and service field, you know, probably in the summer. So, your views might stagnate a little bit when you're not posting that kind of stuff as much anymore. But, when you start uploading those inspection videos again, I would expect your content to become popular again. Really, what ends up happening is that a lot of the people who get a little bit bigger in terms of the fire alarm community are the people who get jobs out in the field and make videos of it, because that stuff is quite popular and people like to see that kind of stuff. So, and usually it kind of sticks with you as you keep moving along. I only have 3 left to upload, I believe. Like some examples I can think about are, Zach Fleck. I started watching him probably in 2017. So obviously he was doing inspection stuff around that time, but then he was publishing inspection content all throughout that year. And then the next summer, he really pumped out that content again. And I think that's what really helped kind of blow his channel up a little bit. I remember I used to really like his content as well. I think it definitely boosted New Age Server Alarm to his position as well. I mean, obviously, it's been several years since he was an inspector, but I do believe it helped him. So I think you could be looking at the same path if you continue with doing inspection type stuff and making videos of that and uploading it. But, obviously it's hard to say. See you later, Kansas Fire Alarms. Speaking of New Age server alarm, he is indirectly responsible for me being a brony. Good Lord. Some obsessed kid made a Roblox a name with his name, and a Roblox forum video led me to the show. I see. It was like 12 or 13. Man, that's been. How long has that been a thing? People making, like, pretending to be Andrew. Like, I don't understand that. Why him specifically? Like, I kind of get that, he was the first to do a lot of things in the fire alarm community, but, like, at the end of the day, he's just a fire alarm enthusiast. Parasocial relationships will do that. It's true. I think it's still the case that, like, I still occasionally see, like, stuff regarding New Age server alarm, like people being like, "Oh, I'm like New Age server alarm," and I'm like, "That's cool." Like, the older I get, like, I don't want to say he's less special, but, like, the more, like, he's like a regular enthusiast to me and not like someone who should be held to a pedestal. Like, he was there first, but, like, at the end of the day, he's just another enthusiast. I mean, he's a regular guy, but I'm not going to stop crediting him as the guy that inspired me to do fire alarm vids. And honestly, that's a valid point. He was a major inspiration for so many people in this community throughout the years. Um, so obviously, we can't deny that. All right, I'm getting a little bit tired, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream off here. Thank you for everyone who tuned in tonight. Yeah, have a good night.